Morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Idafi Matthew Esogana. You love to call me the Elegbete One of Sports. Emmanuel Sebastian is in the building. Pretty much get him in on the show in a few minutes. But before then, there's a little bit of Champions League business to take care of. And let's take care of that one. Yes, they say, Italian wine. Fine wine gets better with age. And that's exactly the story of players like Lewandowski, Ciro Immobile, Karim Benzema, Dusan Vlahovic as well. And then the kids, Kylian Mbappe, there's Mohamed Salah there. Why do I mention all of these names anyway? Robert Lewandowski is in the running for the Golden Boot award. 33 times 2, he's got 66 points, because for every goal you score in the top leagues, your rating is multiplied by 2, so it's got 66 points there. Ciro Immobile might be playing badly for the Italian national team, but when it comes to playing for Lazio, he's a dependable player. He scored in all competition 26 goals this season, multiplied that by 2, you get 52 points. And Karim Benzema has got 25 goals for himself, multiplied that by the 2 points that is allotted to teams that are playing in Spain, Germany, England, and Italy. You get 50 points. And then there's Dusan Vlahovic, who's got 23 goals playing for Fiorentina and Juventus this season. 23 goals means he's got 46 points. Kylian Mbappe, also in one of the top 5 league, playing in the French league, is also multiplied by 2. 22 goals scored this season. They've won the league already. Came out to say that Messi's won the easiest title of his career. Also have 44 points to his name. And you also have 44 points for Mohamed Salah, the man who loves to score against Manchester United. Of those 44 points that he's got, 10 points is goals scored against Manchester United, as he scored a hat-trick in the Old Trafford battle, and then 2 goals in the game at Anfield. Could have made it another 3, but just missed the chances that he's got. Tonight, it's going to be Manchester City hosting Real Madrid from 8 p.m. And these two teams have got very, very funny looking form. On the form guide, Real Madrid had lost 1, won 4. Manchester City have won 2, lost 1, drawn 2. But in their head-to-head, everything is even Stevens. There is nothing separating these two teams. Manchester City have won 2, drawn 2. Real Madrid have also won 2, drawn 2. That's exactly how it is. And Manchester City have scored just as many as they've conceded from Real Madrid. 7 goals apiece for these two teams, so there is nothing separating them. Tonight will be the beginning of the separation. Similarly predicted no place for Casemiro to tonight, and Pepper expected Camavinga to start in place of his impressive cameo of the bench in the game against Chelsea. That's the old thought, but this is just predictions. It can't go different way. Match time have not come. But if you go by the probable prediction of the teams that are going to play today, Manchester City will definitely not have João Cancelo, and they will also not have the man Kyle Walker to play for them. That one is guaranteed. So Ederson will still be in goal, the guy who is as cool as ice or cool as cucumber, as they say. Nathan Ake, the thing with Nathan Ake is every time he plays, the Manchester City defense is wobbly and shaky. He's going to be playing against a fast-running Rodrigo, as well as Vinicius Jr., who also will be running against Zinchenko. Everything in my head says that Real Madrid will cause an upset at the Etihad today. So at the back for Manchester City, most likely will be Nathan Ake, Laporte, and Ruben Diaz, and on the other end will be Zinchenko. Then in midfield you have Kevin De Bruyne, the man whose responsibility today is to dictate play, to make sure that life is difficult for the midfield and the defense of Real Madrid. And then you have the man who brings stability to that midfield in Rodri, and then Ike Gundogan, who's been resting for a while, will play. Hopefully Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, and Mahrez will play. Once again, there is no striker here. Even Gabriel Jesus, that scored 4 goals, might just not start. It might not start, it might start. But then on the Real Madrid side, you have Thibaut Courtois, ever reliable, dependable player for Real Madrid, who needs just 1 point to win one more league title for him to his name, will be playing in this game. Caballero, Militao, Alaba and Mendy are the guys who will form the brick wall, the bricklayers today that will put brick and mortar in place to make sure there is no penetration for Manchester City ball possessing team. And then in midfield, we'll be expecting another NASA pass from Luka Modric. Cruz will be the stable head, and Valverde also will be there. But up front, you already know the trio that starts for Real Madrid is going to be Vinicius Jr., old man with experience, wisdom, and plenty of goal, Karim Benzema, who can score with every part of his body right now, and Rodrigo. Okay, the marauding, rampaging Rodrigo. These are the players that will start. Okay, according to Marcus predicted starting 11 include Alaba, but no Casemiro, and that's just the way it is. But let me tell you some of the things that are going on the back of Ancelotti's press conference comment about the fitness of Casemiro and Alaba. Marca is this morning says there's only a 30% chance of the Brazilian Casemiro, while for Alaba it's 60%. We've got some doubts about Alaba and more about Casemiro, as said Ancelotti yesterday in his press conference. Okay, Carlo Ancelotti said the team must be compact in the defensive phase tomorrow. The defense, which is today, the defense will play a big role. When City have the ball, we have to defend. You can't just watch the ball, but when you win it, you have to use your quality to attack. That's the place where Real Madrid can hurt them. Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid coach, said the pressure is similar for both teams. For us, it is not a success to reach the semi-finals. It's to reach the finals, but for that, we have to beat Manchester City. So you see the pride of knowing that you're the best team in the UEFA Champions League also means that reaching the semi-finals is not a big thing. Some other teams will celebrate getting to the semi-finals, but not this team. Okay, Federico Valverde, Real Madrid midfielder, he said we have character and the youngsters bring a lot to the team. Thanks to those with more experience. When you wear the Real Madrid shirt, you have to win everything. Manchester City is a great club, but we're here to win. And he went further. He said your head and your nerve play an important role in games like this. If we are at Real Madrid, it is because we are prepared to face good and not so good situations. So we are ready. It doesn't matter who they throw in front of us. Okay, 2019-2020, when Gabriel Jesus became the second player to score in both legs of the UEFA Champions League knockout against Real Madrid for English side Manchester City, but he's likely not going to start today. And we'll still push on the conversation around the Champions League before I bring Emmanuel Sebastian on board. Raheem Sterling, a forward for Manchester City, who's been fluffing the line, who's been wobbling and fumbling lately. He said, we know not just this season, but previous season, how good they are in the competition. All that happened in the past, we've got to prepare right. Make sure we are mentally ready for the challenge. It's a special competition. Every young player wants to be here. Every time I play, I do my best. The music and the atmosphere is always special. Yes, that's the way it is. And then Pep Guardiola, Manchester City coach, you say Kyle Walker didn't train in the last 10 days. John Stones since Brighton on the 20th of April. That's why I don't know if they will train. We'll see how they feel tomorrow, take a decision. They adapt anyway. And Pep Guardiola went further to say, as far as being manager personally, my accomplishment will never be accomplished. Okay, I'll have another dream to reach. Okay, Joseph Pep Guardiola also went further than to say their history, talking about Real Madrid, speaks for itself, but we have the desire to compete against them. It's 11 against 11. And the ball is moving. The players decide their decision making. We play against players in this position many times beyond reaching the finals and winning. There are other issues we have, and they don't. Okay, we can imagine a plan, but it's 11 versus 11. Quality of them, how strong they are, it will make a difference. The game is players. Claudio and myself won't win. Okay, so the coaches they won't play in the game. It's the players that will play. And then when I say, I feel how nice it is to be here with the best teams in Europe. Try to be ourselves. Do 2 exceptional games to reach the finals. We can do it. That's what I believe. It's an honor. Of course, we want to reach the final, win it, but at the same time, I will never underestimate what we've done to be here. That's very, very important. Even though Real Madrid are not interested in celebrating that they've gotten to the semifinals, but this man is very, very happy. Remember, Gabriel Jesus, okay, scored 4 times for Pep Guardiola's side to move 4 point clear at the Premier League table on Saturday. The Brazilian striker was on form, on target twice in each of the half, first half and second half, with a goal from Rodri that sandwiched those 2 goals. But it still didn't change anything. It's it's likely it's not going to start. But don't forget that Real Madrid went away to Osasuna and won 3-1. Carlo Ancelotti's men are on the brink of winning the Spanish title after this victory on 20th of April sent them 17-point clear at the summit. Though David Alaba's early opener was quickly cancelled out, Marco Asensio's effort on the stroke of halftime made it 2-1. The Merengues held on after the break despite Karim Benzema twice failing to convert from the penalty spot before Lucas Vazquez struck deep into at that time to give them the edge. But don't forget that Man City moved back to the Premier League summit with this victory on April 20th. So there are different situations and scenarios that happen with these two clubs. Who's going to win it tonight? You can join in on the conversation even as we're having the show. You can call in and tell us what you think. Who's going to win between Manchester City playing at the Etihad and that team that does not know where home or away is? They are the king of the UEFA Champions League. Talking about no other team than Real Madrid, 13 times winner of the Champions League. Let's bring this man who's a Liverpoolian and whose team plays tomorrow against Villarreal, the giant killer. But they themselves are a team who does not know the difference between minnows and giant. Go and ask Everton, they will tell you. They come out strong against everybody. Your Manchester United, that's not business. Your Real Madrid, that's not a business. Your Villarreal, that's not a business. But then Unai Emery is a coach that really does know how to, wing his way against English team. He did it in the Europa Cup semi-finals against Arsenal, did it again against the Manchester United in the finals, and he's been there, done that. There is nothing that faces this man. The only trophy he doesn't have probably is the UEFA Champions League, but he's won European competition a couple of times with different clubs from Sevilla to Villarreal. Now, I need to ask you, Emmanuel, even though they're not playing today, tomorrow, as a Liverpoolian, as a Liverpool fan, are you, is there any part of you that is scared, oh, it's possible?
Okay, first of all, good morning to everyone who's tuned in. It's another beautiful day on the show. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian, like you said. Talking about the game tomorrow, I think you have to be worried. This same Villarreal knocked out Juventus, knocked out Bayern Munich as well. So, they've shown in the competition so far that you can't underrate them, and I think the Liverpool players, the manager, know how to, pep his team for this game. I mean, it's the semi-finals of the Champions League, so for Villarreal to make it this far, coming out from the group stage, I think they were in the same group with Manchester United, Atalanta. Yeah. It was a tough group, so for them to come out of the group and made it all the way to the semi-final, it's really it's a good achievement for Unai Emery and the Yellow Submarines, like they are fondly called. It's going to be an interesting game. The players have been talking to the Villarreal defender, Pau Torres, came out to say how Liverpool would be humble because they've seen, he was saying how Bayern underrated them. Bayern manager Nagelsmann was so confident and all that, but they knocked out Bayern at the end of the day. So he said Liverpool might be a bit humble. Francis Coquelin, the former Arsenal man, he's faced Liverpool before, so he was talking about the whole Anfield atmosphere and all that. So it's looking forward to being an exciting game, and it's at Anfield. I mean, one of the most formidable stadiums, talking about European football and competition. So, it's a good game, interesting game. Liverpool are the favourites on paper, but like you said, Villarreal will be no pushovers. But switching over to the Manchester City game, it reminds me of when Kelechi Iheanacho was for Manchester City, was playing for Manchester City. He made his third appearance for City against Real Madrid in that semi-final game in 2016. Where Real Madrid knocked out Manchester City as well. I mean, that was when Kelechi Iheanacho was finding his feet at Manchester City, doing so along the manager then Pellegrini.
Had a great goal per game ratio.
Yeah, goal per game ratio under Pellegrini before Guardiola came in. Used him a bit before he finally left for Leicester City. So, Manchester City, Real Madrid, another interesting game. I mean, two, you want to say, evenly matched teams in terms of the tournament so far this season. I'm not talking about history now or pedigree. This season, Man City have shown that they really want this Champions League, and I hope they don't fall short this time again against Real Madrid.
It's looking like they'll fall short already. There's no Joao Cancelo, there's no Walker. They're already having, you look at that team, does it look to you? Because for me, Joao Cancelo is that one and a half player that they've got. It's a guy who goes from being a wide player and morph into a midfielder, also know how to create goals. What he brings to the team, there is no other player that brings it. He's partly a fullback and partly Kevin De Bruyne. There's a bit of Kevin De Bruyne in him. Then there is the Joao Cancelo. He's just a chameleon that morphs from one color to the other. They don't have that. Nathan Ake is a more of, no disrespect, but all brawn, no brain kind of player. sometimes forgets himself. Positional discipline not really excellent.
Sure.
And then Zinchenko likes to bump forward, but sometimes doing the defensive job is bound to make mistake. And then when you have speedy players bumping on those two positions in Rodrigo and Vinicius, more likely that Man City will suffer at the Etihad. And if that happens, going back to Bernabeu most likely look like they are not Chelsea. They don't have this nerve of steel like Chelsea. It does look like end of the road for them anyway.
And if you see the Real Madrid we saw against Chelsea, I don't know, but I don't think we'll see that Real Madrid. They will come out differently. They will show that different side of them. So, but if you see the same Real Madrid we saw against Chelsea, I think City might just get one over them at the Etihad. But like I said, interesting game. Looking forward.
It depends on which of the Real Madrid you're talking about. The Real Madrid at the Stamford Bridge or the Real Madrid
at the
Bernabeu.
Yeah. Okay. So it depends. So if they come out and play well, I mean, it's Real Madrid. They will get one over City at the end of the day.
There are 4 teams remaining in the Champions League: Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, Villarreal. 2 from England, 2 from Spain. If you had to put your smart money right now, who's your champion? I know you're a Liverpool fan, but who's your champion?
There's this thing about Real Madrid. If they get to the final, I just think Real Madrid might just, at the end of the day, just win it. So
can we remember the last time Real Madrid lost in the finals?
So there's just this thing about them. So if they get past Manchester City, I mean, it's gonna be hard to see another team winning this Champions League aside Real Madrid. So for me, I would say if they get past City, I think Real Madrid might just go on to.
What if they don't?
If they don't, I mean, Liverpool's gonna win it.
All right, thank you very much. I hand over the reins of the show to you now, and do your thing.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.